Agile project management is a type of project management where we step aside a little bit from the traditional project management strategy. In Agile project management, we try to modify and incorporate the necessary changes and bring in the necessary adaptations, which are required to ensure the smooth implementation of all the activities involved. In this particular approach, we tend to become more flexible, open to opinions, and make the necessary changes when we feel things could work better if and when they are executed in a different way. Furthermore, we break down the entire project into several stages or phases so that it becomes easier to effectively manage, control, and implement all the activities and ensure more productivity and success. So join us on board as we sail through the deep waters of all there is to learn about Agile project management. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any new updates or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoyed this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, so make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video with any queries or suggestions, and I will respond to your comments.
Hello friends, welcome to this course on Agile Project Management by Great Learning. So what is Agile Project Management? You might have heard of project and project management. And what would be Agile Project Management? And what is the difference between Agile Project Management and simply project management? So can you guys guess? So just by taking into the consideration of the meaning of these three words would somewhat give you the idea. What is Agile? What is project? What is management? So these three words would combine to make Agile Project Management. So don't you want to know more about what is project management and what would be Agile Project Management and what would be the differences between project management and Agile Project Management? Yes, that's what we'll be seeing in this particular video on Agile Project Management. So without wasting much time, let's move on with our agenda so that we'll be getting to know what all are the topics that we will be covering in this particular course on Agile Project Management. So the first module or the first topic that we will be dealing with in this particular course on Agile Project Management is what is a project. Only by understanding what a project is, you will be able to understand what project management is. And only by understanding project and project management, you will be able to understand Agile Project Management. So initially, to understand Agile Project Management, we need to be knowing what a project is. So that's what we'll be seeing in this particular course in the beginning. And after understanding what a project is, we'll be moving on to understand what project management is. How can you manage a project? And how will you be able to manage a project? So briefly, we'll be seeing on the ideas of what is project management here. After completely understanding on what is project management, we'll be moving to understand what is Agile Project Management. We'll be having a complete introduction to what would be Agile Project Management. How is Agile Project Management different from project management, the traditional project management? So in the third module, that is exactly what we will be covering. After understanding on Agile Project Management, we'll be moving on to understand the benefits that we will be gaining out of Agile Project Management. Here, we'll be understanding the need for us to follow Agile Project Management. What is the advantage or what is the requirement for us to follow Agile Project Management? So that's exactly what we'll be seeing on benefits of Agile Project Management. Right after understanding what are the benefits of Agile Project Management, we'll be moving on to understand what are the best practices in Agile Project Management. So anyways, if you are planned to perform Agile Project Management within your team or within your organization, you need to be knowing how to implement that. What would be the best ways or what would be the ideal scenarios in which you will be able to practice Agile Project Management? That is exactly what we'll be dealing in this particular module on best practices to be followed in Agile Project Management. Then we'll be moving on to understand or look at what are the various challenges that we would be facing while implementing Agile Project Management. So nothing comes easy. If we need to follow something, if we need to implement something, or if we need something to be taken into consideration or to implement it, we need to be following certain things. And that would not be very easy. There will be a lot of challenges and requirements that we need to be fulfilling in order to accomplish or in order to get the particular thing done. So what are the challenges that we would be facing in implementing Agile Project Management? That is exactly what we'll be seeing on this particular module on the challenges in Agile Project Management. Then we'll be finally moving on to our last particular module on this particular course on Agile Project Management, which is nothing but principles of Agile Project Management. What are the principles that you need to be following in order to succeed in implementing Agile Project Management? So are there any principles? What would be the principles? Don't you want to know? So all these things will be dealt in detail one by one. Let's have a deeper dive into all these topics and have a complete idea on Agile Project Management. Stay tuned. So friends, let's dive deeper into our very first particular module on this course on Agile Project Management, which is nothing but what is a project? What is a project? You might have heard of this particular term for a long time. You might have implemented using this particular term when you are in your school, maybe in your college, and even at your workplace. So, what all different meanings have you thought a project would be having? In your schools, when you were able to submit your assignments, all these things was considered as a project. And also when you were into college or when you were doing your graduation in your university, you were told to work on your projects. Maybe your final year project, maybe your graduation project. So in order to graduate, in order to get your certificate of graduation, you need to be completing certain projects. And these projects could be implemented or added on to your CV so that you can showcase them and you can get job opportunities by that. So what is the exact meaning of project? You can actually find this particular term in your workplace as well. Especially if you are into IT sector, you will be knowing, you will be working on several projects. Maybe if you're working on a service-based company, you will be tending to work on banking service, maybe internet service, maybe data, and all those things. So all these things can be considered as a project. Even buying of a house, constructing a building, doing your PhD and pursuing all those things can also be considered as a project. Because in all these things, we are having an ultimate goal. We are striving to achieve what our ultimate goal is. So we are putting our effort and all strain to get what we actually require. Therefore, we'll be able to consider all those things: building a house, constructing a bridge, constructing a road, pursuing your PhD, getting your work done, applying or getting a job, even the process or procedure which you follow to find a new job or to find a new career or to shift your career, even that can be considered as a project, because finding a new job or shifting your career is your final objective there. So all these things are various examples of a project. Now let's understand on a much detail what a project is. A project is a series of tasks that need to be completed to achieve the ultimate goal. So as I mentioned here, we will be striving or we will be working to achieve or to attain what our ultimate goal is. So it will be a series of tasks that we need to be achieving. So only by following these series of tasks, we will be able to get what we actually require. So if you need to have a job, you need to work for it. You need to have a resume or CV. You need to showcase your profile. You need to showcase your profile. You need to showcase whatever experience have you got. You need to show about your qualifications. At the same time, you also need to showcase whatever projects or technologies you are comfortable with. So all these things would be coming in that particular project. So you would be needing to go through a series of tasks to get all these things done. A project is a carefully planned and structured set of processes to achieve a goal with minimal effort. So, while implementing something, we need to be having a plan, and we need to be having a structured plan. We need to be having how to implement. We need to be knowing how things get worse, or how we can handle or tackle the obstacles or the hurdles which we need to overcome. So all these things can be handled by having a plan, having a structured plan and methodology in front of you to know how to implement and how to handle things and how to tackle all the various obstacles which you might be coming across while implementing your project is also one important thing to keep in your mind. Next comes, a project can be simple as it can be handled by an individual, or complex that needs around hundreds of people. So this is also one of the most important thing that you need to be knowing. A simple project may be your classroom assignment, maybe your school assignments or projects. All those things may be individual projects, right? So all those things are something which an individual can be doing. At the same time, in your universities or in your workplace, you might have been working along a team to achieve whatever you need to achieve. So all those things can be an example of teamwork. And these are the examples for which we'll be able to convey or to ideate how a project can be done individually and as a group as well. All the activities in a project will be linked to each other and would be directed to achieve a specific goal. So in order to achieve a goal, I've already mentioned that we need to be following, or we need to be coming across a lot of tasks and responsibilities, and we need to be implementing all those things in the right way. And these things are directed in such a manner that it would be helping us, or it will be easing us to get what we need at the end of the day. So all these tasks, all these responsibilities, all these activities which we intend to perform, which we intend to get it done on the right time, are only possible because all these things are planned and directed in such a manner that it will be making us much more closer to our goal, which we actually had in mind in the start of the particular project. Now that we have completely covered on what a project is, now is the ideal time for us to move on to our very next module on this particular course on Agile Project Management, which is nothing but what is project management. So now that you know what project is, what would be project management? In simple words, we'll be able to say managing a project. But is it simple as it sounds? No, definitely not. So in order to manage a project, you need to be in a position where you are going to get all the things, all the tasks, all the activities, all your responsibilities done in the right time, in the right way, to the best of your ability. So how can you do that? A project manager can do that. A project manager is the one who manages the project. So what are the tasks and responsibilities? Or what is he actually doing all here? So that is exactly what we'll be dealing, or we'll be looking into in this particular module on what is project management. Let's have a look on that. In project management, you use your knowledge, skill sets, tools, and techniques to complete the project efficiently. So in order to manage a project, it is very much important, or it is mandatory for you to have the decent knowledge, or the relevant knowledge, or the relevant firm on the particular domain which you are working in. You need to be aware what are other things going on, what are the current updates in the market, what are the new technologies which are coming up, and what are the skill sets that your team should be having in order to implement the project in the perfect way possible. So it is your knowledge, it is your skill sets, and it is all about your dedication and commitment towards this particular project. Only then you will be able to know what are the right tools and techniques that you need to implement currently according to the market trends, which is not outdated, so that you will not fall out of place and you will be able to deliver your project in the right time, in the right way, to the best of your ability, and you will be able to get recognized within your team and within your organization, and you will be able to get more benefit to your organization as well. The product management team leads the entire team to get to a specified goal overcoming all the hurdles. So, in project management, we are managing the project in such a manner that all the hurdles, all the dangers, or all the problems that you might be facing are planned and foreseen, and we are having a backup plan to implement the things which we are required to do, overcoming all the hurdles. So, the project manager himself comes into picture and makes the way or paves the way so that the project is not held or paused or stopped at any place. So it is the complete responsibility of the entire project management team to lead the team in the perfect way so that there is no hurdle, there is no problem, or there is no stoppage of work in between. The team ensures that the project is carried out according to the given specifications and requirement from the client or from your organization which you are working on. So while you are handed over a project or while you are starting to work on a new project, you will be given certain rules and guidelines which are to be followed in the implementation of your particular project. So you should be abiding by all the rules and regulations and formalities which the client or the organization have put forward. So it is your responsibility to go through what are the regulations or what are the requirements the client is having and to abide by that. So we need to be actually going through and study the particular project in the initial phase itself. Only then we will be able to know whether the project is feasible or whether the project is practical to implement. So if you are not looking into this and you take up the project and in between if you're conveying the same, that will not be the right thing to do. So it is very much important for you to go through the project, are there to what are the specifications which are required by the client or the organization who put forward you in this particular project, and to evaluate the project as well. The project management team is responsible for getting the project delivered in the specified time within the allocated budget. So as I said, when we plan on this particular project or when we go through or when we study the project, when it is handed over to us, it is our responsibility to plan how exactly we'll be able to implement this particular project. By what time will we be able to schedule and implement and complete and hand over or deliver this particular project? At the same time, time is not the only thing that we require to implement or to complete and hand over a particular project. We need to be having the investments. We need to be having the money where we actually need to spend on the right places. So in order to do that, we need to be having budget and we need to be getting investments from our investors, from our clients, or from our company. So how can we get that as well? So with which whatever amount we are having, we need to be planning accordingly. We need to be allocating budget in the right areas so that we are not overspending. At the same time, ensure that we are spending the right amount at the right place whenever required so that the work or the project is not delayed because of non-availability of funds. So friends, aren't you excited to get into our module on Agile Project Management, which is the main topic for our course, Agile Project Management? So by now, we have understood or we have gone through what a project is, at the same time, what project management is. So now would be the best time for us to dig deeper into Agile Project Management. So we know what project management is. And what is this Agile Project Management? And how is it different from the project management which we learned before in the previous slide? So that's exactly what we'll be looking into in this particular module, Agile Project Management. So to start off with, Agile Project Management is a type of project management where we do not follow the traditional approach of project management. So what is this traditional approach what we are talking about, and how exactly is Agile Project Management different from the traditional project management? Don't you want to know? Yes, that's exactly what we'll be dealing with in this particular slide. Agile Project Management follows an iterative approach to get the things done in the proper manner. So what is this iterative approach? Do you know? Can you take a guess? So have you heard about iteration? So if not, let me explain to you. So the iterative approach here means that whenever we are trying to get one thing done, we may not get the thing done in the first attempt, do we? So, for example, if we are cooking for the first time, do you expect the food to be delicious when you are actually completely new to cooking? Or when it's the first time we are trying out a new dish? No, right? Sometimes it can be good, but not certainly. So, iterative approach is nothing but we keep on trying until we get the best result. So, for example, let me take the example of cooking itself. So, the first time you will be cooking, it will not be good. The second time, you'll be trying the same dish for the second time, and it will be much better than the first time. The third time, you'll be getting to know what is the right amount of spices and ingredients that you need to be having to have a more better taste to your food which you prepared. So it is through the experience and practice that you are gaining the knowledge to implement the things in the right manner. That is what follows in Agile Project Management as well. In Agile Project Management, we follow an iterative approach. We try to get a particular thing done in the first attempt. It may be the perfect one. Then we implement this thing in the second attempt. Then we will be having a certain improvement. And if we think that we'll be able to get much more perfection out of this thing after learning from the feedback and learning from all the mistakes that we did in the first and second time, maybe it is the third time that we'll be getting the best result. So that is exactly what I mean by having an iterative approach. So Agile Project Management is going to have or is taking an iterative approach to implement the project. We divide the entire project into minor projects and work on getting the minor projects done. So this is also one of the main difference from project management and Agile Project Management. In project management, we consider the entire project as a single project, as a whole project, right? So all the tasks and activities in a project management are not divided. There are a lot of activities and tasks and responsibilities which you need to be implementing. But all these things are considered as a whole, as a single entity. So that is where Agile Project Management comes into picture, where we divide the project entirely into sub-projects or minor projects, wherein which we will be able to divide the particular segment or the stages into different people so that multiple people can be working on multiple things at the same time so that we'll be able to save time and we'll be able to concentrate on a minor effect or minor cause for a long term in the higher potential. So we'll be able to concentrate completely on a smaller area. So whatever people or whichever people or whoever are working in a particular domain will be able to expertise or it will be able to gain more knowledge in depth in this particular field. And that is how you will be able to get more perfection to each and every minute detail in Agile Project Management. So that is the main advantage of having this particular sub-projects or minor projects or dividing the entire projects into subcategories. So that is also how Agile Project Management would be differing from the traditional project management. Agile Project Management follows a flexible approach and doesn't plan and decide upon everything in the initial stage itself. So as I've mentioned, a project management or in a project, when a project is actually assigned to you, you actually study the project. You do the complete research. You actually try to find out the flaws and try to find out whether the project can be implemented. And then you'll be coming out with a plan, with a structured design on how to implement the things. What are the troubles, what are the hurdles, or what are the dangers that you will be facing while implementing this? So, or regarding all these things, you will be studying before taking up the project and before implementing or before starting to take any action in the project. And one main drawback here is that while planning in the initial stage, we might not be coming across all the hurdles which we need to come across. So we might be missing on some things. And we are having a certain plan wherein in which we have planned according to the already existing hurdles in the plan. So what about the new hurdles which we come across while implementing this particular project? Then we have to deviate from the plan. And then and there, we'll not be able to implement a new plan because if we are deviating from the plan which we had created initially, we might not be getting into our final objective. So that is where Agile Project Management comes into picture. It is completely flexible. Each and every decision is taken not in the initial stages. Here, we plan for a short term, we work for a short term, and we work on minute things so that whenever new things are coming up, it'll be easy for us to tackle. Since we are flexible, we see things as they are. So that is the main advantage of agile project management and having a flexibility and adaptability when we are implementing our project. Since the project is agile based, the project manager will not have central control over the project. That doesn't mean that the project will be going in vain or will not be adding value. It is simply because, since we are dividing the project, it is actually under the control of the person who is in charge of that particular project, the minor project or a sub project. So the project manager needs to dive deeper into all these things one by one. So it might be feeling a bit difficult while the project manager is actually looking into agile project. So that is all about agile project management. And now let's move on to our next module where we'll be talking about the benefits that we'll be gaining by implementing or following agile project management. Here, we'll be getting the reasons that why we need to be following or implementing agile project management and what are the advantages that we'll be getting out of by implementing agile project management. So without further delay, let's move on to the benefits of agile project management. So the benefits which I present here by following agile project management would be these: higher product quality, increases customer satisfaction, reduces the risk, eliminates rework, enhances project visibility, increases control over projects, and better project prediction. Starting off with higher product quality. When we are working through the mode of agile project management, we divide the entire project into sub-projects or minor projects, and hence make it simpler and much more effective and efficient for the teams to work with. Thereby, we'll be able to get more productivity, more quality, and more performance as well. So these are the various advantages that we get in terms of higher productivity, the quality in which we'll be able to maintain, the quality in which we are able to attain, the satisfaction which we'll be able to provide to our customers. So all those things will be increased. Increasing in customer satisfaction is also one of the most important factor that concerns a company, whether in terms of project or product or any service which the company is providing. If you are providing high quality service, the customers will be happy. You will be able to get customer retention. The customers who are actually buying products from you or taking services from you will be continuing to do so because the quality in which you are able to provide those are high. So customer retention and customer satisfaction is what you will be able to gain. Next comes reduces the risk which are involved in the implementation of project, whichever we are working on, in whichever category or domain which you are into. So in project management, if you are implementing, then you might be coming across certain hurdles which you might have not even thought about. And if we actually come across such situations, we need to be deviating from our initial plan. And when we do that, or when we deviated from the initial plan which we had to achieve our ultimate goal, we might not be getting where we actually need to. We might be getting delayed in the estimated time period wherein which we promised to deliver the particular project, or we'll be failing to achieve whatever we had to achieve. So all those things can be coming into picture. But in terms of agile project management, we divide things. We don't think about things in the long run. We get the short-term goals and we get that done as soon as possible. And since we are dividing the things into smaller tasks and responsibilities or activities, we are able to get that done in more detail and in more depth, and all the minor errors and mistakes can also be eliminated. Therefore, the risk of not completing the project can also be eliminated here. And here, it also eliminates the rework. Since we are dividing the project into tiny bits, we are able to recognize if any item is damaged, or if any item is of poor quality, or if any item is not matching the standards which we have put forward. But if we are not dividing our project into minor projects, we'll be considering everything as a whole as a single entity. And it will be really difficult for us to find where the mistakes are, where the errors are occurring. And it is also going to be very difficult to identify the root cause of problem. But when we divide the project into small projects, we'll be able to do so very quickly and easily without much effort and time on that. Then comes enhances project visibility. The same reason comes here as well. When we divide the project, we are having people to work on those projects particularly. And when the particular person is actually concerned about that particular task, he'll be able to have higher visibility on that. He'll be able to look into whatever minute things that are going to be coming in. And even then, the project manager who is actually needing, or if he's actually requiring to see any minute things, he'll be able to ask the concerned person of that minor project to feed that to him. So even then, the project visibility is going to be far better to the team lead who's actually leading the sub-project, and also for the project manager as such. Then comes increases control over the project. Increases control. See, if you are getting out of control in your project, you may be deviating, you may be getting out of track, you may not be ending at the final product or the final goal which we actually need to achieve, which we should have achieved. And if that is not the case, you will be losing control and you will be spending so much money, time, and effort, and all those things will be going in vain. And that should not be the case. Here, we are able to get more flexibility and control over the projects which we are working on. Then comes better project prediction. Since we follow all these things, we'll be able to know, we'll be able to decide where the project is going in. Is it in the right direction? Is it deviating? We are having the complete control. We'll be able to monitor and we'll be able to analyze where the project is going in long run. So since small things are coming to us at the same time, we'll be able to get inputs from all these minor groups. So that will be able to help us to know whether the project will be able to deliver in the right time, in the right condition, to the best of our ability without compromising on the quality. So these are the various benefits that we are gaining by implementing Agile Project Management. Now let's move on to our next module, where we'll be talking about the best practices to be followed in Agile Project Management so that we'll be able to get maximum benefit. So if we plan to do something, why don't we do it in the right way? Because we are spending time, effort, money, and energy on doing something. So when we do something, do it with best effort and in the right manner. So that is the main reason why I have put this particular topic on this particular course on Agile Project Management, which is nothing but best practices in Agile Project Management. So the 5 best practices which I have put here are: set priorities. That is the first one. Second one would be have small project cycles. And third, follow iterative developments. Fourth, conduct regular meetings. And finally, coming on to a last point, nothing but fifth point, engage appropriate tools. So these are the 5 points which I have put forward. So how are these coming the best practices? Let us look onto that. Set priorities. That is the first practice or the thing which you need to be following while you're implementing Agile Project Management. Since we are dividing the entire project into sub-project or minor projects, it is our responsibility to make sure that each of the member or each of the team lead working on this minor project is aware of the priority or on the things that is set to have in that particular minor project. What is their objective? What is their task? And what is their responsibility which they need to be taking sure or taking care of? So we need to be setting priorities and conveying these priorities and limitations and objectives to the team leads who are working or who is responsible for that minor project, which we have divided from the single end project. So how can that be done? That would be the first point or the first practice to be followed to have a better result. Then comes have small project cycles. As we know that in Agile Project Management, we divide the entire project into sub-project or minor projects. We need to be having smaller cycles so that we'll be able to review. We'll be able to know where we are. So it is ideally recommended for you to have around 2 to 4 weeks as cycle so that you will be able to review once in a month or twice in a month. In 15 days or 30 days, you will be able to get the feedback. You will be able to assess the progress with which the team is progressing in that particular minor project. we'll be able to divert and we'll be able to make the necessary modifications and changes to get the thing diverted to the right direction if it's deviating, so that we are having control and we are able to maintain proper balance with the deviation and the time and all the minor projects as well. So that is all about having small project cycles. Then coming to follow iterative developments. As I've already mentioned, in Agile Project Management, we have iterative approach. Iterative approach is actually nothing but trying, failing. It is actually kind of similar to trial and error method, wherein which we try and we find the mistakes and we learn from those mistakes and implement those things and we make it better in the next time. So that is all about iterative approach. So when we are actually having iterative approach, we should be actually analyzing to the more extent in a deeper context, so that we'll be knowing what are the mistakes, what are the root cause of the trouble, or what are the problems that we are facing, and how can we bring in solutions, or what are the solutions, or how can we bring in an alternative wherein which we'll be able to get the objective without compromising on the quality or on the time or on the resources as well. So that is all about following iterative developments. We need to be inculcating changes or modifications whenever we need to. So whenever we do something and learn, we need to be learning from the mistakes which we had, and we need to be growing from it and learning from it and implementing it in a better way the very next time. Then comes conduct regular meetings. As I've mentioned, that it is always better to have small cycle projects. It is always mandatory for you to have the regular meetings to get the updates, where the progress is going on, what have they achieved, what is the target like, and how far are they from the target, and when will they be reaching to the target. So all these things will be having a clear idea if we are having or conducting regular meetings. And since we are dividing all these things into minor projects, it is mandatory for you to conduct. At the same time, we are actually not planning for the long term, but for the short term, we need to be knowing, is the short term achievable? Did they achieve it? What are the troubles that they are facing? So all those things need to be rectified and implemented, and all those things can be analyzed only by having the feedbacks from all the teams or from all the sub projects, right? So that is the main reason why I have recommended for you to conduct regular meetings, to update, to get the updates and have a clear idea on what's going on. Next comes engage appropriate tools. Never get outdated from the market. You should be currently updated with the newest technologies or latest technologies and tools, so that you are not going out. You are not losing out on your market, and you are not losing grip on whatever domain you are actually depending on. So whatever business you are into, whatever sector you are into, whatever kind of products you are bringing in, you should be making sure that the kind of tools, equipments, technologies, and the resources which you are employing should be latest, and it should be aligned with the market trends as well. So these are the 5 best practices that I have recommended for you to follow, so that you will be able to implement the product in a much more better and efficient and effective way as well. Now let's move on to see challenges in Agile Project Management. Whatever domain which you are working in, whatever project you are doing, and whatever sector you are belonging to, irrespective of all those things, you will be needing to face challenges. Nothing comes easy and nothing comes free. So you need to be putting in your effort and you need to be overcoming challenges. So in this particular module, we'll be seeing what are the various challenges that you will be facing if you are opting for Agile Project Management. Let's have a look on that. So these are the various challenges which I have put forward for you as challenges that you might be facing if you are implementing Agile Project Management. Resistance to change, lack of support from management, lack of ownership, inconsistent practices and processes across the team, poor communication and cooperation, lack of training and upskilling. So coming to the first one, resistance to change. So it is always very evident that when you are trying to change from the traditional approach, which you used to do for a longer period of time, it will be very difficult for you to accommodate or to adapt the change in your organization, especially into a new place where money is coming into picture. So lack of adaptation or resistance to change is something what is the most important challenge that you will be facing. And the transition is also not very easy. You need to be adapting. You need to be adapting to the situation You need to be flexible enough to take care of all the changes that you need to accommodate when you're implementing Agile Project Management. And the resistance that you are getting to the change to Agile from the traditional approach that you're having in project management is one of the major challenge that you need to be facing if you're trying to implement Agile Project Management. Next would be the lack of support that you are getting from management, because the management is also fearing the change. Will it perform? Will it affect our company? Will we be losing out on if we actually implement Agile Project Management and not the traditional method which we followed in project management? So the management will be having a lot of concerns and questions and queries, and they will not be giving you much support here if you are bringing up or if you are actually considering implementing Agile Project Management. And even if one thing goes wrong in the initial phase, the support which you are getting from your management can be going wrong, or can be getting back. So the support which you used to get in the initial phase might not be getting in the later phase as well. So it is completely up to you on those particular situations, how to handle, how to tackle, and how to overcome those challenges and move forward. Because the company investors and the managerial departments and the managements would be concerned about this. Will this bring a bad effect to the company, a bad mark to the company? Will we be able to get the product done, delivered on the right time? So these will be the most important concerns they are having. And sometimes they will trust you, sometimes they won't. Next would be lack of ownership. I've already mentioned that in Agile, it is very obvious and you know that we'll be dividing the project into subgroups. And if the team lead or the persons who are actually belong to these subgroups are not taking ownership and actually blaming each other, that will be not a good thing for the company and for the project to be implemented on the right time. Each and every employee should be taking the ownership for the sub project or the minor project, because it is only if they put in the best effort we'll be able to get the project done, because it is completely divided to them and the complete responsibility has been assigned to them. So if they are not taking the ownership, we'll be going down and we'll not be able to get to the result which we intend to get. That is also one thing to be keeping in mind as the challenges that you would be facing while implementing Agile Project Management. Next comes inconsistent practices and processes across the team. Because of this resistance to change, lack of support from management, lack of ownership from the employees or the team leads, the procedures or the processes which we do, if we are not doing it in a consistent manner, we will not be getting the result. And since we are having all these things to the resistance to change and all those things, it will not be easy for you to consistently work in the great effort which you used to put in the beginning. If you are doing it, or if you are bringing in the consistent effort that you need to be doing, or you need to be bringing in, or you need to be putting it, if you are doing so, we'll be seeing the results. But we need to be performing on consistent basis. And inconsistent practices and processes will not be helping you there. The next one would be poor communication and cooperation. Since we divided it into minor projects, each and every departments or each and every projects, minor projects, is important as the other project is. It is actually going hand in hand. If one project is not getting delivered in the right time, the other project will not be getting delivered. And as a whole, the complete project or the entire main project will be going down as such. So it is very important for you to have communication. Communication gap is not a good thing. And cooperation is also one thing which concerns you. So since we are actually dividing it into groups or minor projects, collaborations and interdepartment talks, and also these cooperations and collaborations and communications are much necessary here. And if you're lacking there, it can be costing you a lot as well. Next comes lack of training and upskilling. Whichever department you are in, whichever company you are in, whichever sector you are in, whichever organization you are in, if you are not training your employees and upskilling your employees, we'll not be able to get in value. If you are upskilling our employee, we'll be adding value to our employees. And in turn, they'll be adding value to our organization. And that is exactly what we require. So it is very much important for you to train your employees and upskill them so that they'll be able to get more value to the organization in which they are working. So these are the various challenges that you might be facing while implementing Agile Project Management. So friends, Let's now move on to our very next module, Principles of Agile Project Management. What are the various principles that we'll be able to follow or implement while following Agile Project Management? So let's have a look at that. So these are the various principles which I have put forward on Agile Project Management. Starting off with welcoming changes in the late phases of the project. As we know, in Agile Project Management, we are completely flexible and adaptive. So whatever the situations may be, whatever the circumstances may be, we are in a position to change and adapt and incorporate any changes which is necessary to complete or to get our project done in the right way. Since we are not following the traditional project management strategy, we'll be able to make these necessary changes. In the traditional strategy, we'll be making a perfect plan from the start point to the end point, wherein which we need to achieve the particular project. We'll be abiding by the plan which we created in the initial phase. And here in Agile Project Management, that is not the case. We'll be prone to make changes whenever needed, and we'll be necessitating these changes whenever we require, because we are flexible and adaptive. Whenever the changes are required, we are welcoming all the changes which we'll be able to incorporate for the project's benefit, even if it's coming to the later stage of the project. Next would be delivering value frequently. As we know, in Agile Project Management, we'll be delivering things in short terms. So when we are delivering things on short terms, we'll be able to get the focus, we'll be able to get the value frequently, because we are getting everything done on short term and we'll be getting results on short term, so that we'll be happy and we'll be getting the things done, or the minor tasks or the simple tasks at an easier pace. We'll be able to concentrate and we'll be able to get the value. And when we are getting the feedbacks and the results at shorter stages, we'll be able to showcase each and every result to our client or our organization, and they'll be knowing, or they'll be getting to know regarding all our activities, all our achievements whenever they need to. The next would be maintaining a suitable work pace. Here, since we divide these things or this entire project into various projects, we'll be able to maintain a pace, a minimum pace at which we'll be able to get the work done. Since we are dividing it, we'll be able to make different people work on different projects which they are expert in. And since it's a minor project and there is no much effort to be put in, because they are already an expert in this and it is a short-term project, so they'll be able to take up the project and they'll be able to deliver it at the right time in the right way. So we'll be able to get the things done at a maximum pace itself. Even if we are dividing the projects and getting small things done at a time, a lot many people are working on several projects parallelly, several minor projects parallelly, and hence when combined, we'll be able to get the things done at a faster pace. Recalibrating tasks and priorities based on immediate needs. So when we are implementing any projects, we might be coming across a lot of hurdles, a lot of restrictions, or a lot of challenges. And we might not be predicting that, or we might not be foreseeing such things. And in Agile Management, we are welcoming all those challenges. We are welcoming all those hurdles in which we need to be overcoming, because we have not put a pre-planned strategy which we need to implement. We actually plan for the short term and we deliver short-term goals. So thereby we'll be able to come across or achieve whatever our main objective is. So that we'll be able to recalibrate our tasks and we'll be able to change our priorities depending upon the situation. What is the current situation and what would be the right decision to take right now, and how can we overcome this particular challenge? So we'll be able to incorporate such things depending upon our immediate needs to achieve the particular project or task. Next one would be regular feedbacks to boost effectiveness. So as I've mentioned, in Agile Project Management, we are focusing on short-term goals. We divide the project completely into short projects so that we'll be able to get the feedback. We'll be able to get the results. And the project cycle is also minimal duration of 2 to 4 weeks maximum. So in such cases, we'll be able to get small results at 2 to 4 weeks intervals, right? So we'll be able to get the results and we'll be able to give them the feedback of their performance. Whenever they are getting feedbacks at a regular interval of time, at short intervals, they'll be boosted, they'll be motivated, and they'll be knowing that, okay, fine, they'll be getting the satisfaction that they have done something, even if it's short, they know that they are able to do a one short particular task. And similarly, they'll be able to get other short particular tasks as well. So we'll be able to give them feedback, we'll be able to correct them, and we'll be able to incorporate what are the necessary changes that we'll be able to accommodate. So all these things can be done, and we'll be able to boost and motivate our employees and our teammates so that they'll be performing to the best of their ability. Building projects with motivated individuals. So as I've already mentioned, we'll be able to motivate and bring up value and make them work more in the more effective way. Apart from that, we need to be performing with the individuals who are able to take up challenges, because we are not having a perfect plan in the initial phase. Whenever things are coming to that particular stage, only then we plan and only then we implement, and only then we try to accommodate the necessary changes. So since that is the case, each and every person who is belonging to the Agile Project Management should be taking up the responsibility, should be a team leader, should be actually having the ownership for the particular project, and he should be motivated as well. And there is no one in the particular project to completely guide you on each and every aspect, because the project which you are working in Agile Project Management would be small projects, and you don't need to actually have all guidance. So that is also an advantage, and that is also something which you need to put an effort into, because you need to put in the leadership effort, you need to take up the ownership, and you need to be motivated enough to take up all these challenges and move forward. So these are the various principles that we are having in Agile Project Management to be done in the most effective manner. So guys, now we have come to the end of this course on Agile Project Management. So what all did we learn here in this particular project or in this particular course? We started off by understanding what a project is. What is a project? A project is something which is to be done to achieve your particular goal or objective. And in order to do that particular, or in order to achieve that particular task or goal, you need to be performing a lot of activities, tasks, and responsibilities in such a manner that you are getting it on time. So next we saw regarding project management. Project management is actually nothing but managing your project. And how can you manage your project? What are the different ways for you to manage your projects? And how can you make sure that the product is being delivered on the right time within the allocated budget? And who is responsible for completing the project? The entire team is responsible. And who is taking care of all these things? The project manager. And then we went on to understand our main topic, Agile Project Management. What is Agile Project Management? In Agile Project Management, we actually follow a different strategy. We move a bit away from the traditional project management strategies. In Agile Project Management, we divide the entire tasks or entire project into sub-projects or minor projects. And then we take up these minor projects and start working on those, so that we'll be able to get the particular small tasks done on the particular time. And we'll be able to give more detail and attention to all those minor tasks as well. And since we are doing this in a smaller way, we'll be able to make the project cycles in a very lower manner, between 2 to 4 weeks. So that is also one of the main advantage of Agile Project Management. Then we went on to show the benefits. What are the benefits that we are gaining? We'll be having complete control on the project. We'll be getting to have more attention and detail onto the minor topics or minor elements of each of the projects. And we'll be able to take up new things, even when we are actually overcoming, or when we are actually facing a lot of hurdles or challenges which we least expected. Even then we'll be able to take up that, and we'll be implementing that in the most better way. So these are the various advantages or benefits that we talked about here. Then we went on to understand the best practices, setting priorities, you're taking ownerships and building your responsibilities, dividing the entire project into small groups, having small project cycles, and also taking about a lot of other stuffs as well. So those were regarding the best practices. Then we went on to understand what are the challenges: lack of ownership, lack of support for management, and resistance to change. And these are the various challenges that we will be facing. And finally, we went on to understand regarding the principles of Agile Project Management, which we saw very recently. So these are the various topics that we covered in this particular course on Agile Project Management. So I hope that you have had a fun and informative session with me in this particular course on Agile Project Management. And let's meet in a different course in a very short period of time. So thank you, and hope you had a very fun session here with me.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications bell so that you don't miss out on any new updates or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoyed this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, so make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video with any queries or suggestions, and I will respond to your comments.